Hey, welcome. You did that just in time.
Just in time, yes. Okay.
Welcome to the Virtual Campground Live.
Woo-hoo!
Just sending a quick link to the
Drew.
mother-in-law.
Yes, my mom couldn't join, so I had to send her a link.
Yeah,
so hopefully...
Got to get mother-in-law.
Drew, maybe text Grandma and let her know it's in her email.
So welcome and thanks for tuning in. We are excited about having Eric and Brittany on.
Oh, very excited.
And they are some cool people doing some cool things. And we met them a few years ago at
they were one of the first.
RVE
Yeah, they
summits.
were one of the first couples we met at the first RVE summit that we went to, RV Entrepreneur Summit, and they had that really cool bonfire at the end of it.
That's right. Oh yeah,
with the music and stuff. So it was really fun. So
we knew they were the cool kids.
They are.
So we hung out with them.
Yes. And then they had that adorable little boy that I just wanted to pinch all the time.
Yeah. So we are, where are we? We are currently boondocking.
Yes, we are boondocking. And we have great Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's incredible. We're not leaving. I'm going to call the National Forest Service and see if we can buy this little bitty plot of land here. It is amazing. It's a gorgeous view all around the rig. And
don't you have a picture to share with people?
Do I have a picture?
I
do have a picture. So that's where we are right now. This is between Buena Vista and Salida. I'm not going to tell you where exactly because
no, it's Farm Road 275.
It's our little secret.
Or is it Farm Road or Forest Road?
Forest Road 274, I think, or something like that.
Well, it starts 272 and go 3, 4, 5. You just keep going. Like it's Raspberry Gulch is what they call
Raspberry Gulch area. Yeah, it's gorgeous. We are below Mount Princeton and the Collegiate Peaks range.
Which I didn't even know there was such thing.
I had no idea. There's a Mount Harvard and a
Mount Vale.
Mount something else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Something. So so really cool.
Yes.
And we were chatting with Eric and Brittany a few minutes ago, and we talked about our little trip to Tin Cup Pass. We went to Vail to see some friends.
Vail, so what we saw this week was some fall colors. So happy equinox to everybody. Happy fall equinox tonight.
Is that a thing? Happy fall equinox?
Yeah, sure. It's
the start Hallmark make cards for that?
Hallmark makes cards for everything.
It's not official.
I bet there's even a Hallmark movie for it. Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, I'm sure.
Hallmark, yeah, Hallmark makes movies for everything.
But yes, on the way back from Vail, we did the Tin Cup Pass.
Yes.
Which we were on the Continental Divide
we got to cross it. How many times have we crossed the Continental Divide this summer?
We have many times because we've been in Colorado and Wyoming. So we've crossed the
Continental Divide goes everywhere.
It is everywhere. But Barry took me down the Tin Cup. And I just learned from Eric that you should have let the air out in the tires, and then I wouldn't have been beaten to a pulp.
We knew that. It was just laziness.
Laziness.
Yeah,
on his part.
I didn't bring the air pressure doohickey with me, and what the heck's that called? Compressor. I didn't bring the compressor with me. I just wasn't prepared.
Yes, was not prepared.
Of course, someone like Eric has probably an air compressor built into his Jeep.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you'll see later he does. He has all kinds of things built into that Jeep.
It's too bad they can't come on.
All right. So also today is also National Register to Vote Day. So I hope everybody has registered to vote. That's the question of the week. Have you registered to vote?
If you're on Facebook, every time you get on Facebook, you get reminded.
Please vote.
Yeah.
So, and then I did... even though for those of us that are full-timers, you can still register to vote in your domicile.
Yeah, we sent ours off to get our mail-in ballot.
It is not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Get out the vote, so to speak.
Yes.
Roll out the vote since we're on wheels.
Yes. So I don't think we have that many people watching us, but that's okay. You will come. I know you will come soon. But in case you are there, please give us a shout out and let us know you can hear us and everything is going well.
Yeah, as far as we know, we're just talking to ourselves.
And Drew.
Yeah.
But I did want to give a couple of shout outs today. And so when people watch this later, they'll also see it. Tasha and David have been our top contributors, in the Facebook group. They have been just really active, and we appreciate you being active. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, thanks for being there.
And also to all of our new members that we've gotten. We've got a ton of new members lately. Yeah, I guess that looks like with all the new RVers, luckily a lot of them are finding us. So thank you guys that have been part of the community, for sharing about the community and letting people know it's something that they should be join.
And if you are so inclined, please spread the word about the virtual campground.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the other, we're not going to do Deborah's News today because we have a fun thing at the end. That'll be a lot of fun if people are on. But we have some fun at the end that we wanted to do. So we're not going to do Deborah's News, but I did want to share one thing. And that was that beginning last week, Camping World is doing some virtual concerts.
Virtual concerts.
Virtual concerts. And they follow up after our show. So last week was Alabama, which when was the last time you even heard about Alabama? The band, not the state.
Yeah.
And
can't believe they're still around.
And tonight is Martina McBride.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, they're live streaming on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time. So
does this replace an actual in-person
concert? Apparently, Camping World has a stadium in Orlando. I did not know.
Really?
Yes. And so they often have entertainment there. So I guess this is their way of doing something. I didn't. Camping World has a lot of things.
Yeah.
They using our money to pay.
That's right, exactly. Might as well take advantage of it.
That's right. So watch the free live streams. So at any rate, yep. So that is all of the news and information we have right now. Why are you?
I don't know. Something's happened with the cameras. I don't know. We hit something, but we're back to normal on this one, so we're good.
We were backwards for a moment, and then now we're back. All right. That's okay. Yes. So at any rate.
Anything else before? So we don't have news.
Nope. So now it's time to talk to the Highlands, which is exciting.
All right. Yay. So we're going to bring on Eric and Brittany, and we'd like you to give a warm Texas welcome because I noticed their license plate on the back of their rig. Hey,
Yay!
Eric and Brittany, welcome to the virtual
I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
As a bear.
Baylor graduates, you can't do that.
I can't really. My hands don't do that right.
Let's see. Can we hear you? Let's see. Talk up. There we go. We got you. I'm going to turn up ours here on this end. Okay. How are you doing?
Hi.
Good. We're doing great, guys. Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks for being here. We're excited to talk to you about Mexico and just catch up with you in general.
Yes. So
absolutely.
What is behind you right now?
Yeah,
so behind us is our Winnebago View. It's a 24J model, and it's the RV Wanderlust rig that we call Base Camp.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay.
And was that the Holcomb's old rig?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm showing
totally
a picture
snatched
now.
It out from underneath them.
I'm showing a picture now of, I think this was actually when they turned it over to you, and Peter grabbed a quick photo of you guys in front of it.
Yes.
Yes, that is that photo.
We have to get the expert photographer to take our first photo.
Yeah, shout out to the Holcombs. And likewise, we are going to be selling this rig, as we will tell you a little bit more later. This isn't a sales pitch, but it's a great rig.
Yep.
So
it is a sales pitch.
And if you want to
it's enough for well, that rig, my goodness, if that rig could tell stories.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
That rig knows where to go.
Places.
It knows where to go.
Yeah, it probably would just take you all the wouldn't places just automatically.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even have to really trip plan.
Yeah, it doesn't come with kayaks though, does it?
Every time the temperature goes below freezing, I look at photos of the Holcombs in the snow because they do all kinds of winter sports. And I'm like, okay, we're good.
We know this rig can do that.
That's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that rig can do things close to water and lots of snow.
Yeah, it's a good rig.
So now that is y'all's second rig, right?
That's right.
It is.
Because when we met you, you had a ginormous one.
We had a big 40-foot Tiffin Phaeton.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
so where is
needed? We needed.
Yeah, we needed the 40-foot because it was just the two of us.
Right.
And we were moving out of a place into a vehicle. We thought, we need all this space.
Right. And then so you got 40-foot, and then you had a baby, so you went smaller.
Well,
right.
Yes, we actually went smaller.
Totally logical.
So then we had 3 in the big 40-foot rig, and then we sold that rig and moved into the Jeep.
Wow.
And then we didn't have any rig.
No.
Oh, okay. So I didn't realize. Okay, so you lived in the rig before you got the View.
Yes.
We did. So December 2018, we sold the Tiffin Phaeton without another motorhome, and we literally moved into our Jeep.
And immediately went into Mexico.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't realize that was the timing of all that. All right.
Wow.
Okay. So tell us, what does that take to, especially go from or yes, guts, to go from 40 feet to a Jeep?
Well, do you want to tell the story of Jackson Hole and
Yeah,
how it all started?
so basically, Brittany took our big 40-foot rectangular, 32,000-foot beast up a trail forest road that was rutted and rocky, and you had to make like two 90-degree turns and go up this hill, and there was this shelf road that went down.
Oh dear.
And she is just a monster. She thought it was an off-road vehicle. She took it up, made this corner, and everybody who was on this plateau, their faces just dropped. They were like, they eyes as big as golf balls. They couldn't believe it. And then when they saw her behind the wheel, they were like, oh my gosh. Anyway, we were in Grand Teton at Upper Teton View. If any of your viewers know that spot, she managed to get it up there. And one day we were going back into town, and I'm driving the Jeep. Brittany's in the passenger seat, and all of a sudden she says, pull over, pull over, pull over. And I thought I hit a squirrel. I didn't know what happened. So I'm like looking around. And so I pull over in this parking lot, and I don't even think I'd stopped the Jeep. She jumps out of the Jeep. She runs up to this vehicle that's sitting in this parking lot, and she points at it, and she goes, that is what I want to do. And I had no clue as to what she was talking about. Now, you got to understand, my wife's an introvert, right? And so she methodically thinks things through for months before she reveals anything. So if she exclaims something that vibrantly, then she's thought about this through and through. And unbeknownst to me, she had been listening to a podcast about a family that had driven with their two daughters all around the world. And she had been listening to this podcast for a long time. And then she told me, I want to drive around the world.
Wow.
And that moment in Jackson Hole changed our life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was the day that Eric found out what overlanding was. And I wanted to drive around the world from, before that day. But we were like, well, we've never done this before. Maybe we should start slow.
Right.
So we moved into our Jeep Wrangler and went to Mexico.
That's starting slow.
That's slow.
with the toddler.
Yeah.
Not as, foreign to us. A lot of people don't know, but Eric spent a lot of his childhood in Mexico. He has family there. Spanish was his first language. And so we were able to set Puebla, Mexico, which is southeast of Mexico City, as our destination.
Okay.
And that's the farthest south that we went. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, and we did love it, and we're still doing it. So.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, it takes I don't know if I would. Yeah, that's not taking it slow.
I didn't even want to bring a toddler in this 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So no. I'm worried about space with him.
Yeah.
So tell me more about, so I did put, and we'll put it in the show notes again, but the video that shows the actual Jeep that y'all took into Mexico, so people can kind of take a tour of it. But it is a really rigged out Jeep. So
we have a picture of it somewhere.
There it is. There's a picture of it. So there's a tent above it. You have a cover that you can expand your living space, right? So really, you spend your time inside the Jeep, I'm assuming only for really driving. You sleep upstairs and hang out outside. Is that the...
That photo that you're showing right now was actually taken in Mulegé, in Mexico. And that is a beautiful orchard there. It's an oasis in the middle of the desert. There's like grapefruit trees and orange trees there. And we are deep, deep south in that photo there. It does have a rooftop tent. It has a refrigerator, a full cooking system, an awning, an annex, a snorkel, expanded battery systems, extra lights. You name it, that vehicle's got it. It's a beast of a vehicle. But we are actually going to be building out a new vehicle for our next trip. And this vehicle here that you're showing is going to stay in Colorado, where you are right now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, really?
And
So, we're going to keep it in Denver. So that when we are, let's say, in Ecuador and we need to fly back to the United States to do a public speaking event or to see family or to attend a wedding or something like that, then we'll be able to fly back to Denver, pick up our Jeep, and head out.
So you're getting not a Jeep or a different Jeep?
We have not announced what vehicle we're building yet.
Almost.
But we will be announcing soon.
Yeah. If you were going to get a different vehicle, what would it be?
A really good one.
But will it be smaller or larger than what you've got right now?
That's a great question. We actually have looked at every kind of vehicle you can imagine for a global overlanding trip. We have looked at everything from those big box trucks that you
Mm-hmm.
see some of the folks
Yep.
driving around the world.
That was the vehicle that was in the parking
I
lot.
remember.
Exact
Yeah,
vehicle.
yeah, I remember that.
And then we've looked all down to tiny vehicles. But from just a ton of research from folks who have been there before us and who have done these types of trips before us, we have decided to go with a smaller vehicle, one that we could ship in a container, one that we could pull into a downtown city street in the middle of a busy city.
Like a colonial town.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't want to have anything so monstrous that we can't actually get into a town.
Yeah. So, and your plan is to right now go back into Mexico and then keep going south into South America and eventually to ship it somewhere. So you're literally going to go around the world, correct?
Right. Right. Our plan is the big 30,000 foot view is to go into Mexico at the end of 2021, in 2022 to cross into Central America and head south all the way to the tip eventually of Argentina, and then to ship the vehicle from there to Africa. And then we would drive up the west coast of Africa to Europe, and then take the Silk Road from Europe all the way to Asia, and then probably ship that vehicle back to the United States. And then we would fly into Australia, buy another vehicle or rent a vehicle in Australia, tour Australia, and then fly back to the United States. That would be all 6 habitable continents.
Wow.
Now, it sounds super easy and really awesome.
No,
We're
Sounds
looking
easy.
at a 10
sounds
to 15
awesome, but
year
not
journey.
easy.
So 10 to 15 years. So when you think of little Caspian being 3.5 now, I mean, he's going to be 15 to 18 years old by the time this journey is complete.
Wow.
Okay. So that I was
What an
going to ask,
amazing
how long do you think?
experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said to Barry the other day, I want to meet Caspian when he's like 25.
Yeah. It's going to be a
and
fascinating
see just kind of
young
person
man.
he is. Yeah, because he's going to be exactly for a child that has basically since the day he was born or the day he came home from the hospital, he's come home and been on the road. Correct?
He has. He went straight from the birthing room of the hospital to the Jeep, and shortly thereafter to Mexico. So,
amazing, incredible.
Yes. Well, that's exciting. So, okay, so let's back up a little bit and let's talk a little bit more about Mexico, because y'all walked about 4,000 miles in Mexico between going through the interior. We're showing the map of where you all went through the interior. So it looks like you started in San Antonio.
Or just
Laredo.
south of San Antonio. Laredo,
okay.
South of San Antonio.
We crossed right outside of Laredo.
Yeah, just outside of Laredo at the Columbia River Bridge crossing.
Okay.
Columbia Bridge.
At the Columbia Bridge crossing, not Columbia River. That was Washington State. at the Columbia Bridge crossing, just outside of Laredo. And it is a border crossing that we highly recommend. It's very organized, very streamlined for anybody thinking of going into Mexico.
Okay.
Okay.
And did you, since y'all had a toddler when you were going through, was there special papers you need or anything different than normal?
No, he's just another little person. Yeah. So he just needed a visa, just like we did.
And he has his little passport.
Just another little person. A tiny little passport.
Yeah, it's a tiny little passport. And it's interesting because you would think that it would almost make a border crossing more difficult with a toddler, but it's actually quite distracting for the officials. They love him, and so they just want to take pictures with him. They want to pinch his cheeks. They want to talk about him. And they're like, "Oh yeah, here's your stamp. Have a nice day." And
and the Latino culture in general loves family.
Yes.
And so children are really valued in Mexico. And so we would be in a town square and everybody would be smiling at him. And he's super friendly because he doesn't know a stranger.
Everyone he's ever met is a stranger. So.
Everyone's a friend that he hasn't met yet.
Right.
And so we just found that it made traveling really fun in Mexico because it was an icebreaker to have him with us.
That's awesome.
And he has no shame. We would be walking down the street in San Luis Potosí, and he'd see some 12-year-old girl walking about 10 paces in front of him, and he would run up to her and grab her finger, and she would like turn down and look at him, and he'd just continue walking down the street like they were.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
He's gonna be trouble in 10 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's
we just
wonderful.
showed a couple of pictures.
He is adorable.
He is adorable.
Yes.
So tell us about the border crossing.
Yeah.
Do you have any particular tips, things that you learned that surprised you, or anything that you think other people should know before they cross?
So it's pretty straightforward. So your vehicle needs a tip. And so
temporary import permit.
Right. And this is specifically for interior Mexico, because if you go to Baja, you don't need a tip. And at least right now, I mean, these things change constantly. But so you need the import permit for your vehicle, and then you need visas for each person, and then you need insurance. And there are a lot of companies out there. There's BajaBound.com and a whole slew of them that will offer you insurance. And all that Mexico requires is liability insurance to make sure that the other person is covered. The first time we went all out and covered our vehicle as much as we possibly could, because your U.S. insurance is it's not good in Mexico.
No.
And we spent about $800 for a 6-month insurance policy. And when we went to Baja, we didn't do that. So we just decided that it wasn't worth it. And when you're driving around the world, there's no such thing. I mean, you can't even get that insurance coverage.
Yeah, you got to
even if you
self-insure,
wanted
basically.
to.
Yeah.
So one thing to know about the tip, you spend, I think it was $400 when we went. It could have changed by now, but it was around $400 to get your vehicle into Mexico. That allowed you to have your vehicle in Mexico for 6 months. And then you spent another $60 for a sticker that they put on your windshield. When you come back to the United States, you actually get your $400 back.
Oh.
You don't get the $60 back for the sticker, but you get your $400 back. And the reason Mexico does this is they're trying to avoid people driving U.S. cars into Mexico and then selling them for a profit.
Okay.
So and avoiding taxes and all that kind of stuff. So they just want to make sure that the vehicle you drove in, you're driving back out.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense. That makes lots of sense.
Cool.
So, when were y'all in Mexico? I mean, what time of year?
So our interior Mexico trip was February 2019. Mm-hmm. And Baja was February, a little bit into March of this year, 2020.
Yeah, right before
So
COVID.
both of them were in the winter time.
Okay. And that's a good time to be in Mexico, I would think.
Very good time to be in Mexico. Yes, the weather's beautiful down there.
It is. I mean, it was colder than people might expect. So especially interior Mexico, there's a lot of mountain ranges, especially the area that we went through. And so it was by no means like intolerable, like you wouldn't want to go, but it's not like t-shirt weather necessarily. And then Baja, I pictured myself like on the beach in a bathing suit the entire time we were there. We went into the water one time.
Oh my gosh.
And the whole time we were there because of how cold
it was.
Really?
Okay.
So yeah, it was a lot colder than I expected.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. But in all fairness, we did a lot of off-roading in both locations with the Jeep. So we went into the Sierra Gorda Mountains and did some amazing trips down there. And then in Baja, we did quite a bit as well. So we were in mountainous ranges and desert ranges that didn't have a lot of coverage for anything. So when you think about the weather, it's kind of...
Yeah, it was totally fine. Yeah. It just kind of surprised me having never gone before.
Yeah.
But did you encounter snow?
No. But I will say there are two different things, and I want to make this clear because a lot of people think of Mexico as just Mexico, right? Interior Mexico and Baja Mexico are night and day from one another. They're two completely different experiences. When you go into the interior of Mexico, you're really getting the full feel of the culture and the people of Mexico and their roots and the history of Mexico. And when you go into Baja, Baja is really cool for what it is, but it's really almost an extension of California with a Mexican vibe.
Yep.
Okay. And so granted, you are in a different country. It's a great place to cut your teeth if it's your first international border crossing and you just want to see what it's like. It's very touristy. There's only a few roads that go north and south. You're going to run into the same people over and over. There's not a lot of change. Well, not too much change in scenery. Mexico interior is completely different. Everywhere you go is unique, vibrant, very cultural. The people are different, just like here in the United States, right? I mean, the people in Mississippi are much different than the people in Maine, and we're all Americans, but it's just a different culture and a different vibe.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know this, but Mexico is actually the United States of Mexico. And they have 32 states, just like we have 50.
Yeah, you don't think about.
So every time you're going into a different state, it's a different vibe, a different culture. It's really cool.
And it is just like in the United States, as far as it's a state, so you don't have to do any more like crossings. Like if you're in Europe, you have to have a border crossing every time you go from.
Yes and no. It is a different state, and you don't have to do any more border crossings where you need your passport. However, a lot of the states will have a state crossing where they're going to inspect your vehicle before you cross into their state, or a federal checkpoint or a police checkpoint that you have to go through.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially in Baja, we had several military checkpoints as we were going south.
Got it.
So we had like a container of rock salt in the back. They inspected that really closely.
Wow,
And then,
really?
They're worried it was something other than salt.
Oh, really closely.
Yeah.
And then one of our sponsors we have quite a few sponsors that sponsor our travels. One of them is a company called Red Ox out of Montana. And part of their marketing is that they use dog tags on their bags. And so I didn't even think about it, but the dog tags were on the bags. And so when I pulled into this federal checkpoint, the Federale was like, military, you military,
Oh,
and he was
no.
like adamant that I was military, and he wanted to know if I was bringing any guns and if I was in the military. And I'm like thinking, where did he even get that from? And it was from the
It
dog
was a
tag.
totally reasonable assumption.
Yeah,
It was.
for
He was
sure.
doing his
Yeah.
job. He was doing his job, And
Wow.
but that marketing right there got us into a little bit of an extra border crossing conversation.
Yeah, a little bit of cultural experience.
That's a good thing to be thinking about.
Yeah, Johnny Lightning asked a question about how helpful is it to learn Spanish before you go?
It's a really great question. How you doing, Johnny Lightning? So I actually speak fluent Spanish. It's my first language, and believe it or not, I don't use it when I go to Mexico.
Wow,
Not at all.
really?
Matter of fact, I don't do it on purpose. It means that I can understand everything that they're saying, but I don't speak back to them in the native tongue. And the reason for that is it speeds up border crossings because the onus is on them to explain to you what it is that they're wanting to do in their tongue. And if you simply say, no comprendi, are you asking for my passport? Here's my passport. Then they're just like, move along, move along. But if you converse with them in fluent Spanish, then the world opens up to them as far as what they're able to do. So in Baja, there's no place in Baja that you're going to go that you have to be able to speak Spanish. In interior Mexico, yes, there are many places in interior Mexico, especially the smaller villages, not the major cities, but the smaller villages where they don't speak English and they expect you to speak Spanish, as well they should. It's their country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting
It's
tip.
traveling with people have been traveling with travel dictionaries for decades before Google Translate, which now solves so many problems if you have a signal on your phone. So, I mean, that's definitely not a reason not to go. I mean, it's nice to be able to go to a country where we speak the language, but eventually we will be in countries where we absolutely have no clue what the languages are.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have done it before us, and so we're going to get by
That's
just
right.
fine.
It works out.
It's all good.
I find that sign language and a few chosen good
Gestures.
words usually can get you just about what all you really need. So,
one of the things that I've learned from people who have traveled the world is they said just be kind,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Be patient,
right?
And let them know that you're excited to be in their country. Be truthful. Hey, I am a tourist. I'm here. I'm so excited to be in your country. Do you have any recommendations for me? And be patient. They have to be there all day long. Your vehicle might be the coolest thing they see all day. They might want to strike up a conversation with you. Have a conversation.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this type of travel in Mexico, you should not be in a hurry.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
No, don't be in a hurry. Be patient. That's good advice. And don't talk louder. They still don't understand you.
No.
Yeah. Talking louder does not help.
Talking louder doesn't help. Increasing volume is not the answer. So as y'all were traveling around and in the Jeep and overlanding, did you stay mostly in the Jeep? And if so, where would you stay?
So we did it really differently in interior Mexico and Baja. In interior Mexico, we actually did a lot of Airbnb stays. Mm-hmm. And that was because of our work commitments. At that time, we had to have Wi-Fi. It was non-negotiable. And then we would use our weekends, sometimes long weekends, to go to the Sierra Gorda Mountains and do our actual off-road travel and get all that in. We stayed at some established campgrounds in interior Mexico because they are there. And we did at least one wild camping night where we were kind of just in a rocky area in interior Mexico. And then in Baja, we were in the Jeep the entire time except for 2 nights. And we were beach camping because you can camp on the beach anywhere in Baja. It's illegal. And some established campgrounds as well, from right in the middle of cities to the outskirts of town. But yeah, we were in the Jeep in Baja.
In Baja, every night we were in the Jeep, with the exception of 2 nights.
So, and y'all have a lot of stuff on that Jeep. So do you carry tools and extra parts because you might not be able to find them when you're traveling around Mexico? And now as you're going around the world, what is your thoughts?
We don't really carry too many extra parts for Mexico. Mexico actually has quite a good infrastructure for off-road vehicles. The Baja races are held in Baja, obviously, so they have mechanics and whatnot that are capable of doing the work there. We do carry tools to be able to repair our own vehicle, and then I don't want to get too much into the weeds, but basically you're trying to keep your weight as light as you can in your vehicle to not stress your payload capacity on the vehicle. So we only carry the tools to repair our own vehicle. And it's not a selfish thing, it's a weight thing. So if you were driving in a Toyota next to our Jeep, there's a chance I might have a tool that could help you, but I know I have the tools for my vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And as y'all are through the interior, so of course the big question is with Mexico too, well, I guess too, water and safety.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
how would y'all answer somebody?
So water isn't a problem. So a lot of people are really suspicious about the water in Mexico. They think it's going to make them sick. What some people don't know is that none of the Mexicans drink the water that comes out of the taps either. They know that it's not good water. It's not meant to be drinking water. And so because of that, you can get drinking water everywhere. I mean, you can go into any grocery store from the smallest town to the biggest cities and get gallons of water. There's refill places a lot of times. And so, yeah, we did that in Baja specifically as we went to a refill. It was literally just a water store. That's all that it was. And we went and got our water containers refilled. And then other than that, we would just get new like plastic gallons of water and keep those or pour it into our own containers. So water, really no worries about water at all. And then what was the second part?
Well, as far as it was safety, but my question is specifically, what is your question about safety? Because there's a lot of myths out there, right? You're going to get robbed, you're going to get mugged, you're going to, the cartels are going to get you. I mean, is there a specific question, or do you just want us to talk generally about how we felt?
It's just generally because you hear so much these days about the cartels and the drug running and all that sort of stuff. And I believe the State Department put out a no travel advisory to parts of Mexico, if not all of Mexico. I can't remember, but there is a lot of information out there that may or may not be right. So just wanted to hear your perspective on that.
We have so much
have so much time. How much time is this podcast? Listen, let me tell you something. There are a lot of myths when it comes to Mexico. The first thing I want people to understand who listen to this, the Mexican people are amazing, beautiful, selfless, hardworking, hospitable, kind people. At no point in time did we feel so unsafe that we had to go somewhere else or turn around. At no point in time in Mexico. 4,000 miles. People there, let me tell you what they do. They take their kids to school. They go to the laundromat. They go grocery shopping. They go to the mall. They hold hands walking down the streets. They have dates in the little patio in the plaza. Sound familiar? I mean, it's kind of what we do, only it's in Mexico. These are normal, regular people who are loving life and enjoying themselves in a different country with a different culture and a different language. And it was such a blessing to be able to partake in that culture with them. And so anyway, I just wanted to say, as far as safety, we never felt unsafe.
That's great to hear. Yeah, that's fantastic. Did you go ahead, Brittany?
I was just going to say, when we crossed the border, I had like all our papers in a manila folder, and I just kept it on my lap across the border. It was like right there because I was so sure that the first police officer that saw us, especially in our Jeep, which is really noticeable, was just going to pull us right over because that's what everybody made it sound like. And it didn't happen. We didn't get pulled over one time. And eventually, I actually commented to Eric as we were coming back about to cross like 2,000 miles later that I didn't even know where that manila folder was. Our perspective changed. Okay, we're adding some light.
There you go.
But it never happened. And we had so many fears before we crossed the first time. Eric got nasty messages from people who we didn't even know saying you're a horrible person for taking your wife and your toddler to Mexico.
Wow. And not so many words, by the way. I mean, there were some choice words that were used in there. And the moment we crossed crossed, a friend of mine, and I'm not going to call him out as far as who it was, but a friend of mine sent me a message, a private message, and said 21 people were just killed in Mexico. And he sends me this article. So I read the article, and all 21 people that were killed were cartel members. And I sent him a message back, and I said, "Did you read the article?" He goes, yeah, man, 21 people were killed. I said, "No, but did you read the article?" And he goes, well, no. And I said, "Yeah, those were cartel members." He goes, "Well, how's the cartel?" I said, "I'm assuming they're just fine doing cartel things, but we're not hanging out with them."
You're not
Right.
hanging out with the cartel. So that's another
No.
tip. Don't hang out with the cartel.
Yeah, there's a good card. That's a good
Right.
tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and y'all are from Texas, and I grew up in Texas, and so yes, you would hear all, no.
Yeah.
You would hear a lot of stories, obviously, about Laredo and all the border towns. So I do think it is something. Go ahead.
Now, let me say something on that. Yes. So the border of Mexico, the northern border of Mexico, is probably the area that you want to be more cautious in. Okay. So the northern border states are the more dangerous, the more.
There's a lot of desperate people
Yeah.
by the border.
Yeah. You just need to be a little bit more aware. So what we did is we actually crossed at the Columbia Bridge and we drove straight.
And we did it first thing in the morning.
First thing in the
We
morning.
were there when the bridge opened.
Yep. And then we drove straight down the toll road all the way to Monterey.
Okay.
So once you're in Monterey, anything south of there, you're good to go. You're past the border towns. You're past that whole section.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, that road that goes from Nuevo Laredo to Monterey is the only road at that time that the State Department in the United States would allow U.S. government officials to travel via road on that road. So we decided to take that road to get to Monterey and then head south.
Okay.
Okay. Fantastic.
Great. And you went as far south as Puebla.
Puebla.
And that's where you have family, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I've got family all over Mexico. My mom was one of a bunch of kids, but yeah,
One of 17
Yeah.
children.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got first cousins I haven't met. But anyway, we did make it all the way to Puebla, which is southeast of Mexico City.
And felt comfortable and fine.
Totally.
Oh, it was amazing. There's
That's awesome.
so much culture there in Puebla. The food, there's such a rich food culture. Just like in cosmopolitan cities in the United States, there's all kinds of influences from Europe and other places. The architecture is amazing. We loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely
awesome.
loved it.
Yeah, the food, the couple we had on last week, the New States, they had a great time in Mexico, and the food, the pictures of the food.
Yeah, they had a lot of pictures of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some of them in our closing slideshow at the end of this show. We'll be showing some of their photos, and yeah, it just looks incredible.
So what was Caspian's favorite thing?
The meatball.
Meatball. So, yeah. So we were in San Luis Potosí, and they have this beautiful plaza that's surrounded by government buildings and churches, because San Luis Potosí is actually the capital of San Luis Potosí. So the city is the capital of the state. And they have all these government buildings and churches and whatnot. And so there's this beautiful plaza where there were vendors and food vendors and all this. And Caspian's just walking around dwarfed by these massive old architecture buildings. And there was this guy that had one of those little pagoda type things or something.
Yeah,
the pole with all these balloon animals and little things you could buy.
They were all balloons on
Right.
And so there was this little red horse that had wheels, and Caspian fell in love with it. So we got it for him. It was like, I don't know, 75 cents US. And we got it for him. It was on a little string, and he was pulling this little thing all the way around. And I turned around, and it was a little horse. And I asked him, "What's its name?" And he said, "Meatball." And that
we had been singing on top of spaghetti.
Ah.
I don't know. You know that song. He was like obsessed with meatballs.
I like that. I like it.
But to this day, whenever we're driving around the country, if he sees a horse, he says, "Meatball."
Oh, that's so cute.
That's
Okay,
great.
so we had another question from Larry, Larry Macy, and he wants to know, what filter do you use? Do you use some sort of tablet to clean the water? But I think y'all answered.
I think you answered.
Jugs,
You just
right?
buy jugs of water, fresh water.
No. We would just buy jugs of fresh water. And then we also have roto packs, which are these really expensive, fancy water jugs that we carry in the Jeep. And what we would do when we'd go to fill-up stations, we'd fill those up with the purified water. And then when we were camping, we would use that water as our water.
And we do have a lifesaver.
We also
now.
have a lifesaver now, which we didn't have then, but the lifesaver that we have now, Larry, if you're looking for a good filtration system, I would look at the lifesaver. We're not sponsored by Lifesaver. It's just a fantastic product. But basically you can fill it up and it will filter out bacteria and viruses, and it's pump actuated. So you can just keep filling it up and keep pumping it, and everything that comes out is fresh water. I think it does 50,000 gallons of water
Wow.
with
In
one
its
filter in its
lifetime.
lifetime.
Holy smokes. That is a lot of.
So you could go to a dirty pond. Like
Yeah.
we could be in
Yeah.
Africa and we could go to a dirty pond and we could use that water and make it drinkable.
It wouldn't necessarily taste good, but
Yeah,
it would be drinkable.
But
Yeah, you
be
could
drinkable.
survive with it. Yeah.
You would have your water. So, okay. So tell us, can you tell us, I guess, 3 favorite spots or the favorite experiences that you had? Could you get it down to just 3?
And you don't have to agree on these 3.
And you don't have to agree. Yes.
Okay, well, definitely the Sierra Gorda mountain range in interior Mexico. We spent a weekend. We connected with a group of Mexican overlanders through Overland Bound, which is a forum. And we thought that they were all friends and they all knew each other, but evidently they didn't. And like they just heard that we were coming and everybody congregated. And then our first night, they had like their Toyotas and they were pulling cellophane off of their rooftop tents. And so they had actually bought gear for this weekend.
Oh,
They
wow.
were just getting started. And now they like have an Instagram account and they go overlanding all the time. But they showed us around this whole mountain range and it was an unbelievable experience. So that's definitely probably both of ours, right?
Yeah, I was going to say Brittany stole mine. That was definitely,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. It was an amazing experience. You got to tell them about the mariachis though.
Where?
The band that started up when we parked and camped.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this is Mexico. So we had a long day of driving. We were camping at this campground at a hotel, and it was literally like the stroke of midnight. We had just got into our tent, and all of a sudden a mariachi band started up, and they were so loud.
And we're talking about the horns at the.
And they were-
Oh my gosh.
They were bad too. It was really bad, and we had friends in tents who were even closer to
Oh,
them
no.
than we were, and they didn't sleep at all. I remember just like I hysterically giggled, and then I fell asleep. I was so tired.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That all happened in Sierra Gorda Mountains. One of my favorite things, of course, was seeing my family. I have a lot of family in Puebla, Mexico, and they did a reunion. And I had like 33 cousins that all showed up at this one place. My cousin Monica hosted it. We just had a beautiful time together as a family. That was really nice. And then there was this really cool hot springs that we went to called Escondido Place.
Outside San Miguel de Allende.
And it was just really awesome. I actually just posted some photos in promoting this podcast on my Facebook from our trip. And the ones that have all gotten the most comments are from Escondido Place.
But it was like underground hot springs.
Oh,
and it
wow.
was like crazy inexpensive, and it was beautiful.
And they're stained glass, and we got like massages, like
Yeah, because we went on Valentine's Day.
yeah. So we got like a couples massage for like $20 for an hour for both of us.
Oh
and,
my gosh.
Nice.
it was just awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
That is awesome. All right. What else? Let's see. Any questions from the group? I think you answered the water question.
Larry has a.
Larry's just saying that they live by a lake.
Oh, they live by a lake.
The lifesaver is probably a good thing because they want to
They
be
just
able
want
to
to
drink
drink
that
straight
water.
out of the lake.
Oh yeah, you totally
it'll
could.
do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about what's next, or
Yeah, or whatever
when
you
we
can
can
tell
find
us.
out when we
Yeah.
can find out what's really next.
Okay. What's next? So we are selling our RV probably early spring of next year because it would be parked and it's a depreciating asset, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
We love this rig, so I'm really sad, and I would like to buy a Winnebago View maybe many years from now. I love this
Yeah, we
unit so
genuinely
much.
love this rig, but there's no point in us keeping it. We're building out a brand new vehicle, and so we're not just going to have it just sit here in the United States for 15 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right. So we're ordering our new vehicle probably by January 1st, but I would think that we're going to announce it before then. And we are launching a new brand,
Which we're also not revealing just yet.
which we're not
Right.
giving all the details about, but we're launching a new brand that will encompass all crazy travel ideas for the rest of our lives.
Wow.
We've talked about, well, let's drive like a 1956 Bel Air across Route 66, or let's take a train around Europe, or like, what are we going to do? We don't know. But we can't keep launching like RV Wanderlust, Jeepsies. Like, what is it going to be next? Like, train people. Every time.
So we decided to come up with a brand that really just encompasses more of a philosophy of
Makes
what
sense.
we believe. And we're excited to announce that soon. And it will make sense when we announce it, why we decided on this. I think it'll be inspiring and empowering and encouraging to others. And if you know us at all, that's our heart.
Yep.
Yeah, we're sponsored by a lot of companies. We do a lot of public speaking, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is, it's the one-on-ones. It's meeting the people. We want to inspire and empower and encourage other people to do what we've done and to feel like they can do it and to just enjoy life. You get one shot around, you know.
Yeah.
So we're taking our shot. You know, we're going around the world.
For you.
I love it.
Yeah, and especially parents. I definitely don't want parents to feel that they can't do crazy things, because Caspian has proven to the world that he's like up for anything.
Right.
And I think that that's true, that children really just follow their parents' example and just want to be with mom and dad. And it's just exciting, and I really want to spread that message.
No, and I think you guys are definitely the role models for that. Now, that does bring up a question I have. How do y'all stay in touch especially as you're thinking about going around the world with your family? Because you do have a lot of family here in the States as well.
Sure. So we've had a lot of practice. I mean, we've had to start practicing that already with almost 7 years on the road. So it's just the normal things. I mean, it's the Facebook, Messenger chat, and
But we also take it a step further. Family is really important to us, and so we were in Puebla, Mexico, and my in-laws, Brittany's parents, flew out and hung out with us for 5 days?
Mm-hmm.
5 days. They hung out with us in Puebla, Mexico for 5 days. My father-in-law and I went to a sports bar and had a really thick steak and watched the Super Bowl together in Mexico. You know?
Love it.
Wow.
And then we are just a couple, not very long from now, we're in Omaha, or just outside of Omaha. We're going to be in St. Louis, Missouri, and Brittany's folks are going to meet us in St. Louis, and we're going to hang out with them for a little bit. And then in November, we'll be in Florida, and one of our kids is going to come out and fly out and be with us in there. So we do make it a point to stay connected. And, look, I could say, look, just come visit me. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Or I could say, hey, why don't you come hang out with me in Nairobi?
Right,
Right,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the beautiful things about that lifestyle is getting people to come visit with you.
So Johnny wants to know if you carry a SPOT, SPOT, all caps, device or the equivalent. Is that
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah,
it's an internet.
No, it's a satellite.
Right.
So what he's talking about is a satellite device, communications device. Yes, Johnny, we carry a Garmin InReach Explorer Plus. We are not sponsored by Garmin, not yet. But it is a great device. And what it allows you to do, for those that don't know what this is, it's basically a glorified texting device that allows you to text from anywhere in the world as long as you have a clear view of the sky. So I could text you from the top of Mount Everest, no cell coverage up there, but I could actually send a text to your phone from the top of Mount Everest, or I could do it from Death Valley. As long as I have a clear view of the sky, I can send a text message anywhere in the world. It'll also allow you to track your waypoints and your mapping as you're driving around the world. And most importantly, it has an SOS feature, an emergency feature where, let's say, God forbid, we rolled the Jeep and we rolled down a mountainside, but we survived and we're in the Jeep and I have this thing strapped to my waist. I can actually hit that button and it will notify Garmin that we are in trouble, in need of assistance, and they can ping on our coordinates and send the appropriate help.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Okay, so when you get to Nairobi, but you're out in the savannah, I want you to ping me just so I can get a text from Africa.
Sure.
We can.
We actually have a list, and we're gonna announce this when we have our new site. You can actually sign up to be advised of our tracking. You can sign up to.
You can see our map.
You can see our map.
Can see where we
you can
are.
actually send us a text and say, "Hey, can you tell me something?" And then we can respond to you right from there. It's a really, really cool thing.
That's going to be so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
well, I am so excited to watch what's coming up. And we'll make sure to let everybody know when the big announcement is going to happen so everybody can be tuning in.
Well, that's a question. So right now we have your contact information, RV Wanderlust and Jeepsies. Is there some way, are you starting a list of people to announce this? Should they sign up on one of these websites to learn about this? How do they get hold of you?
Well, that's where they go for right now is RV Wanderlust and Jeepsies, and specifically RV Wanderlust would probably be a great place on Instagram. RV Wanderlust on Instagram would be number one place.
Yeah, and then we're going to announce to all of those social media holdings how to follow us on our new brand once we announce the new brand. And we hope to do it. We hope to have folks there. One of the things that I do want to say is that for years, people have been asking us to do video of our trips. I want to say that we don't do video, and this is why. We don't want to take the time to edit video.
Yeah.
And because we want to actually be out there enjoying it. We don't do this to be famous. We don't do this to have social media followers. We're thankful that people are interested, and we're happy to share things. And if you know us at all, we'll sit with you one-on-one at a campfire for hours and just chit chat and talk about things. But our motive is not, to be Instagram famous.
Yeah.
Our motive is to actually travel the world and experience and enjoy the cultures. And as many people as want to join us along the way, fantastic. We'll take you along with us.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay. So everybody, you're getting lots of notes in the comments about just have a great trip, and it's exciting and cool stuff. So we're really excited, and thank y'all so much for coming on tonight with us. We really appreciate it.
So great to see you.
It's nice catching up.
Yeah. Excited to hear about the new plans.
Can't wait.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
All right. That was exciting.
Yeah, that was fun. It was incredible.
Yes.
I can't imagine.
No, you can't imagine because you could barely get me into an
That's
RV.
right.
You can't imagine me. Though I would. I am really envious of the idea of going to Australia and New Zealand. That is definitely on my bucket list to fly there and rent I'll even camper van through it. But yes,
you don't want to ship our 36-foot diesel pusher to New Zealand?
Not to New Zealand. I think we need something much smaller.
Probably
yes,
so.
Absolutely. That, and also I could do Europe, I think. But yes. So anyway, we have a fun little game that I'm glad that Johnny and Larry are on, because I thought of them as I was doing this game, because I think this fits y'all's personalities so well, and that you guys can have some fun.
That's quite a setup.
I want to say that it takes being a smart aleck, or at least somebody with a sense of humor, which I know all you guys have. So, you ready for the game?
So what does game mean? So tell us what we're going to do.
So what we're going to do? Yes. So the there is a group that have awards for comedy wildlife photos.
Comedy wildlife.
So they are wildlife photos that have some humor to them. And I'll put the link in. It's comedywildlifephoto.com, and you can vote on your favorite. There's like 40. We're not going to go through all 40 of them. And so we thought it'd be fun to show you some of these pictures, just because they made me laugh out loud, and see what you would caption them.
Okay, so we're looking for captions.
So those people in the chat, we're looking for you to add some captions. It's going to mean that we have to wait a while, because there's some space in between people seeing them and people being able to comment.
I think we're doing
so.
All right. So
no time limit, Larry. That's right. You have a delay.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, there's the first one. All right, so let's see how long this takes to come up. And I don't think the delay's too long.
There's the picture. Awesome.
There's the picture.
Ours,
10 seconds or so. Not too bad.
Not too bad. So I think those are parakeets, right? No, Johnny, you're not a smart aleck. You're smart. Smart. A smart Johnny. And you have a sense of humor. That's really what I'm looking for. So these two birds, someone captured them in a moment of... Yeah. I'm going to assume that's just one finger, not a particular finger, but y'all can caption it as you wish.
I think it's talk to the foot. That's right, exactly.
I like that, Johnny. Talk to the foot.
Talk to the foot.
All right. Any others? Anybody else have one?
I think talk to the foot.
That's a winner?
Is a winner.
Okay, awesome. All right. So the
you
next
win
picture.
100 internet points.
Yeah, 100
Johnny.
internet points to Johnny.
Next picture.
Stop collaborating. Thank you, Eric.
All right, next one. Puffins.
Puffins. Aren't they adorable?
They are adorable, but why is that one hogging all the food?
Is that food? Are those
I think
fishes?
those are little.
Or
I think those are little like minnows or
maybe
something, or
so.
sardines.
It's hard to tell, really.
I don't know.
Oh, that's good, Larry. I like that. I'm blind. Can I feel your face? So 1980s.
Yeah. So puffins. It looks like it's fish. I mean, why would the other puffin be so interested in it?
So what would you caption it?
I don't know. Can I have some? Or this is typical. You're at the dinner table and you've got the older sibling that takes all the food.
Yes. Hey, I want some. That's my dinner. Yes.
All right. You want to do the next one?
No, give him a few more minutes.
All right.
Just, I know it's awkward for us to think and have to chit and chat, thinking, but I want to give you guys time to have a caption for these. We have a couple more minutes, so we have time. Don't bort that joint, my friend. I don't know what that even means. Okay.
I thought it was don't bogart. Come on.
Bogart. Oh, is that it? Okay. Friend. My friend.
I don't think that's a joint. I think it's sardines or something.
Well, for puffins, that might be nesting much. That's good, Eric. I like it. Yeah. Okay. The next one.
This may be my favorite. How in the world did that happen?
That poor animal. What is he going to do?
Yeah. I mean, why? I want to see the pictures before this one was taken.
Leading up to it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And at first I thought maybe it was taken and then turned upside down. But I mean, the way the tree limbs are going and everything, I think it's.
Don't you think he was probably crawling down the tree trunk and then he saw something in there and he reached for it?
Yeah, I guess so. And then had to kind of twist himself one way or the other. And I don't know a good caption for this other than help.
Help, yeah.
Get me out of here, or it's dark.
I have fallen and I can't get out.
Anybody?
No, I don't think anybody else has one. Yes, Johnny,
Yeah,
probably much more
exactly.
colorful than that.
As
Eric said, some choice words.
Waiting for a friend to come get him out.
It's going to take a big friend.
All right. Yep. We got two more. Here comes the next one. That's hilarious.
That one made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. He's got a cane.
Yeah. Now, this might be something the Highlands are going to see when they get to Africa.
That's right. Exactly.
They can start taking some comedy wildlife pictures.
That's awesome. This reminds me of...
That's for the tree picture, Larry says, see what happens when you drink? Friends don't let friends drink and climb trees.
Well, maybe that's where all his... No, it was a raccoon. It wasn't even like a squirrel or anything.
Darn fleas.
Going to a concert? Is that for the
monkey or the raccoon?
The raccoon? All right. Ready for the last one?
Hey, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Liz is in the house. How are you? Liz is in Florida right now. I talked to her yesterday. She is in Florida. She has a condo there because the cold in Connecticut she did not like.
No, I don't blame her.
So she and Chelsea are hanging out in Florida, and Ed will be joining them at some point.
Oh, wrong time zone. Oh,
I do that all the time, Liz. I hate it.
Hey, Liz, yeah, just go back and watch the replay
yes.
and tell all your friends to watch the replay.
All right, last picture.
That was awesome.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Just look the other way.
Yeah. Are they looking? Can they see me? I'm going to take this tire. No, it looks. I think he's probably saying, "Look, you're about to go off-roading. You need to air down these tires."
Yeah, that's what now Deborah's going to be saying. All right.
That's pretty cool.
So if y'all go to comedywildlifephoto.com, you see these plus many, many others. I think there was a total of 40. There was one that I felt was not appropriate for all folks to see.
Not for our family viewing.
So yes, the new pit crew. Exactly. So yes, if y'all want to go and have a giggle, and then you can vote on your favorite. There was quite a few that I thought, is Mom coming?
Yeah. Keep an eye out for Mom.
Yeah.
I think he's just checking the tread on those. I mean, the tread looks a little low. Might be time to get the new tires on there.
So, well, we have some beautiful pictures to show in the outro, right?
Yes. So last week we had the new states on.
We got their pictures late, so we
New
show them to you
Nomad.
tonight.
Yep. So we got those in the outro, and I don't think we have anything interesting going on next week. No, wait, we do.
We always have something interesting going on. So next week, Cherie is going to join us. Cherie is putting together a summit for people to learn how to make money and RV. Money and RV summit. So, and we're actually in it. So we are on Thursday at, I think, 10:30 in the morning, October 33rd.
October. Okay, so
October
it's
3rd, a week.
October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Okay.
Yes. October 3rd. Sorry. No. Yeah. Sorry. October 3rd.
If you're there on October 33rd,
you've missed
we
it.
won't be there.
But anyway, but it is about a week, 5 days. So Cherie's going to come in, and she can actually explain this better than I clearly can, to tell us more about it. And you guys, I sent out the link. We'll put it in the show link as well. So if you want to go on, it's free to watch the summit. There is a VIP pass that people can purchase.
And the VIP pass just gives you the opportunity to look at it later.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So it's free as long as you're watching it that day.
Watch it free as long as it's happening.
Absolutely. And so the link does benefit the virtual campground, of course. So we would love it if you'd use our link. Plus, we just like to know that how many people from the virtual campground are in the summit. So we love
spread the word. So this is geared toward people that want to learn how to live on the road and work on the road, work from the road. So,
but not even just the full timers. I mean, some part timers, and especially nowadays, everybody wants to work remotely, right?
Yeah.
So this
just have more flexibility.
Yep, absolutely.
So if you know of anyone that may be considering this lifestyle, or just share this information with your friends, we would sincerely appreciate it. Get the word out about next week, and thank you very much for your support.
And also, just so y'all know, Heath and Alyssa and Cherie and Chris have been rescheduled. Yay! So Heath and Alyssa are going to join us on the 6th of October, and Cherie and Chris of Mobile Internet Info are going to join us on the 13th. So yay! I appreciate so much that they
promised no internet issues.
It wasn't their issue. It was yours.
Oh, we're out of time. We're out of time.
So, y'all, here's the outro that Barry put together based on the new states pictures. And we appreciate, again, to them, and we appreciate, again, the Highlands joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a lot of fun to hear from them and get to talk with them again. And other than that, you guys stay safe.
Yeah,
thanks for showing up.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Until we can see you in person, we hope to see you in the virtual campground.
See you around the campfire.